Well, hello guys, my name is Nick from Nickstoygarage, and in today's video we are doing a posh car. Yes, it is a Rolls Royce Silver Spirit from Matchbox. As you can see, this one is in horrible condition. The paint is missing in every single location, there's a pillar missing, the window is broken, the interior is disgusting, it's losing sand from everywhere. This is a closer look at it, and as you can see, I need my handy dandy screwdriver quite early on in this video just to scrape off all the loose dirt and grud this car has collected over the past, well, I think 40 or 50 years. I think this car actually, well, spent a lot of its time in a sand pit, of a graveyard as far as I know, with some kid that just forgot it for about 65,000 years in the mud. The bottom is literally disgusting. There is paint missing, but most of it is just dirt, grud, sand, and I really don't know what else. First order of business is to take out the front and back rivet. When that's done, I take my handy dandy screwdriver, pry open the base, and let's take a look at the inside when the front rivet finally releases. There we go, so take it off, and oh my god, that's this. I'm not touching that. Give me 1 second to put on some gloves. Let's hurt myself a little bit. Ow, oh, there we go. Second glove, because, well, I'm not touching this thing in this condition. This generation of Matchbox cars has the this type of spring. It's the how is it called? Just a metal plate that holds in the front and rear axle. Center has been held in by a rivet, but you can just take out the wheels and axles just by lifting up that little metal plate a little bit. At this point, I'm just scraping off dirt, hair, I don't want to know what else, human remains probably, human feces probably also, but oh well, that's why I have gloves on. Next, it's time to take out the interior, which is quite disgusting. Then the spring goes out, which is just rusted, and then the doors and the windshield just fall right out. Then the front grille is still intact. This is actually been held in by two little pins. Just push them through with my handy dandy screwdriver and they just fall right out. Just like that. So I can sandblast the entire thing with ease. Awesome, and here's a lot of stuff even behind the grille. Then for the sand blasting cabinet, I did actually off camera. I removed the wheels and tires. I don't know what, not really sure why I didn't. Oh, I know why I didn't show it, because I messed up filming it. I filmed it vertical, not horizontal. I don't know, I messed up. So after 60 seconds in the sand blasting cabinet, this is the result. The base plate looks quite good, but the model itself, you can see that the years of sand actually ate away from this model. And the roof, the bonnet and the fender needs quite a lot of reconstruction to make this thing nice again. As you saw also in the beginning of the video, this thing is missing an A-pillar, but I'm pretty sure I can solve this. Spoilers, I can, because, well, I already know the video is already finished, obviously. So next I take a piece of welding rod. I think it is, just some metal wire, cut it to size, and then it's time to glue it into place. So when it's cut to size, I just put it in the right position. Then I use some of my glue, just make a nice underground, because I don't want to spill any glue on my nice new, underboard, that green thing with lines up, which I picked it from €1 from the Action, Belgium shop, I think it's, well, in more than one country. So let's cut it to size, just glue it into place, and then use some baking soda so I can have a really nice bond. I know there are other ways to do this with some actual putty, but I'm broke, so I'm using baking soda and some glue. This dries literally in a second, but I'm leave it to dry for a couple hours, and after that I can actually make it nice and good again. Moving on with the top piece of the A-pillar, same thing, glue and then baking soda. And also I noticed that the other A-pillar is actually broken on the bottom, so I just bend it back into shape. Off camera I did a little bit with my thingamajig, and then again glue and baking soda. Then for the, well, reconstruction, again, you can use putty for this, but again, I'm broke, like always. So again, glue, baking soda, and I fixed this for, well, 0.0 of a cent. Next, it's time for the, the reconstruction part. It's sanding paper and files. Just sand the, I forgot the baking soda. Sand the baking soda off, and then when it's nice and flat, I use a smaller grit to make it nice. Same thing with the panel on the front, the side panel, and then I take my little dental pick off camera to reconstruct the line of the hood that lines up with the fender. Well, there it is. I didn't think I recorded it, but I apparently did. Next, it's time for my filing off the remainder of the baking soda around the A-pillars so I can get a nice result. Next, it's time for the dental pick again, and just to remove the remainder of the paint before I go to primer. For primer, a fine surface primer by Tamiya in grey. 2 coats in total, 5 minutes for the first coat, and 24 hours for the second coat to totally harden out. Now for the color, I decided to go with a color that I actually used last time, but not quite yet, because I actually re-sanded it because there was a strange reaction from the paint on the roof and on the trunk, not really sure why, so I sanded it again and then re-primered it again. There you can see there was a little bit more damage on the hood itself, on the bonnet itself, so I also fixed that before I did the rest of the primer. So it's nice and awesome again, and obviously use the file, this is just a reconstruction, to make it great again. For the base, a nice black coat, because I have actually plans with this base. You will see in a future bit of this video. I did it before and I really like it, so I'm gonna do it again. Now the doors get the coat of primer again, 2 coats, and the inside of the door panel will get the same color as the interior. Speaking of the interior, it's time for my toothbrush and some hot soapy water, just to clean out the interior, the dashboard, because this is actually quite disgusting and I'm not sure why I'm touching this with my bare hands, but oh well, things happened and I'm still alive 2 weeks after this video, so I did something right. Also the windshield gets a nice polish with, a wash with the hot soapy water, and the rims, these were actually caked on with sand and dirt inside of the tires. Then for the interior I used a nice, it's a saddle brown from Revell, and it's it's supposed to mimic a brown leather interior. If you have a better suggestion for this one, please let me know in the comment section down below. Next I use a little bit of sanding paper to sand the axles. I can't talk anymore. I can also put it in my drill and just spin the drill with the sanding paper against it, but I was lazy to get my drill out. Next, my black Sharpie to re-blacken the wheels, and then use my chrome liquid marker to make the original wheels look chrome again. I was at first going to put some modern looking Rolls Royce wheels on it, but that's not a restoration, so I decided to keep the original ones. Next, I take my chrome liquid marker for the front grille, and this when the base hardens out with the paint. I use my chrome liquid marker again to paint in the exhaust, the differential, the axles, and things like that, so I can have a nice and detailed underside of this car, and I love doing it. I love when the cars have a nice detailed underside. For color, like I said, I did it last time, but I loved the color so much I did it again. It's a maroon from Tamiya. Also, I just love the way this color looks, and as you can see right there, there's a hair landed in my paint, so I had to wet sand it, this regular sand it, and redo the paint. Nothing happened, so 3 coats in total, leaving between 5 and 10 minutes for the first 2 coats, and 12 to 24 hours for the last coat to totally harden out. And then obviously a clear coat to clear up the paint. Next, the fine details. On the back I have the rear lights in red with my toothpick, obviously. They wrap around the side, which I really love with this car. Next, I take my orange to paint in the blinkers on the back. I didn't paint in blinkers on the front because it doesn't have any place for blinkers. And when the blinkers are all in, I take my white and paint in the reversing lights and paint in the number plate in white, because in Belgium the number plates are white with red lettering, but obviously it's so small I cannot do red lettering on it. Probably this is an English car, I think, because the steering wheel is on the right side, so I was actually supposed to do English plates. Oh well, I live in Belgium, I need Belgian plates. Next, it's my chrome liquid marker to paint in the door handles on the 4 doors, obviously. And then take the same paint as the interior to paint in the door panels on the inside, so I can have a nice and even look when I open the door. These are all the parts to put this thing back together. As you can see, I really think my A-pillar fix turned out quite good. It is not perfect, it's never going to be perfect, but I really love the way this thing turned out. Also, the windshield, I know it's still cracked. Well, it has a nice big scratch on it, and I tried to polish it. I did a little bit, but I'm still waiting on my polishing paste to arrive so I can do a deeper polish, because I'm just not used to doing this the right way. Obviously, I'm a budget channel and I'm kind of an, well, Worker Nick is kind of an editor Nick, and well, voiceover Nick, that's me, are geniuses, but Worker Nick is kind of an idiot, as we all know, obviously. Meanwhile, I'm putting this thing back together. I just put in the glass, I put in the doors and the spring. Off camera I painted the spring in black, just so it wouldn't really stand out. Then the interior goes back in, making sure I do the dashboard under the windshield, otherwise I would break it off. And there you can see me place back the wheels and axles, just lifting up the spring, the metal plate, with my handy dandy screwdriver. I really need to make merch for the handy dandy screwdriver. I think the handy dandy screwdriver is more popular than, well, myself. I think most of you guys are here just for the handy dandy screwdriver. Some videos I miss the handy dandy screwdriver and everybody asks for it, so I don't think... Next time I should make a video with only the handy dandy screwdriver without me, and see if you guys ask for me instead of the handy dandy screwdriver. Oh well, there you can get a nice look at how the base turned out. I really love it, and this is before the restoration, it was still missing paint, missing an A-pillar, and I'm convinced it was filled with all kind of crap I didn't want to know about. And let's take a look at it after the restoration right now. It's nice, it's maroon, with nice details, a cracked windshield, I know, but I really love the way this thing turned out. If you did also, please leave a like, subscribe, and like always, a very, very special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Link to the Patreon description down below. See you next time. Bye.